Hello, my Puffy Taco Fiends. It's GSPAEpro, aka Phil, and I have returned. Happy New Year, y'all. Today we're starting off with a bang with another video of me complaining. This time about OC tutorials. Now I know what you're thinking, but peep, some people just want to get tips on what to think about when they're making a character. And yes, I totally understand that, but that's not the tutorial we're talking about. Basically, when I say OC tutorials, I mean the ones we all grew up with as Gen Z artists. The cringe comps, the anti-Mary Sues, the fixing your art videos, and the infamous do this, not that style video. Again, I totally understand that the creators of these videos were truly trying their best to be helpful, but I feel like many of them went way too far in on other creators' art insecurities. Like artists who drilled into our heads that red and black color schemes are overused, edgy, harsh, or unpleasant, even though they can be beautiful if done correctly. And that's the thing. If done correctly, all of these things that artists claim to be bad could look stunning and professional. It all comes down to how these aspects are used. This is why I hate these types of videos. Content like this is meant to scare you away from trying to make stuff like this work. They were used to keep you from stepping out of your comfort zone. All content that said, do this, not that, was done to stunt your growth as an artist. Sorry, but it's the truth. Want to know how I know that? Because I'm one of those people who still struggles to go out of my comfort zone. Ever since I was a kid with unrestricted internet access, I've always struggled to try new things. New things like different programs, art styles, color palettes, and mediums. I only started feeling comfortable with drawing full-body characters around 2022 because I finally found a way that made it easier for me. A fire truck just went by. Not to mention, during most of 2022 and 2023, I really made some big changes to my art styles and characters. Like, really big changes. You might have noticed it too. For this video, I thought I'd go through a couple of big topics that a load of tutorials would really crap on, and just show you how to use them correctly. So, let's start somewhere simple. Ah yes, color palettes. Remember, kids? High saturation, rainbow-inspired color stories equal bad! Guess what? That's not how that works. Color palettes are meant to make a character look good. You can use different colors to show personality in your characters. Like by making the edgy goth kid dark and neutral. And making the sweet preppy kid bright and colorful. You can see it in TV and movie costuming, so why can't you use certain combos? Thing is, you can! Returning to my point about costuming, many series have their quirky and fun characters wearing very expressive makeup and accessories with clashing patterns and bright colors in their outfits. Again, it makes the character who they are. Editing Phil here to specify that this is also for, like, personal characters. This isn't for, like, oh, you're making an animation or something. Because, of course, you're not going to be able to use many big patterns and stuff in most animation styles. So, yeah, just thought I'd clarify that. So, if you want to make your My Little Pony OC a quirky scene kid with bright colors and clashing patterns, go for it. It's your character, and that's what you think fits them. The best example out of my OCs are Mary and Aaron. While both have very muted colors, they're meant to match in a way. They're a couple, so their palettes are very similar. But in their outfit colors, you can see how different they are. Mary's lemon yellow sweater is bright and yet cozy feeling, and she's sweet and a caring motherly figure after all. Meanwhile, Aaron's dark tank top and green shorts make him seem just a little more rough and tough than his partner. But not too much, just enough though. Strengths and weaknesses seem to always be at the forefront of videos that comment on original characters. All they cared about were flaws. If your character had less than 6 flaws, they were too perfect and too much of a Mary Sue or Gary Stu. If your character was too strong or likable, that would make them too shallow and boring. I mean, everyone has enemies, right? Well, think about it. Not every character has to be perfect, and not every character has to be horribly flawed. Once again, it's your character. Go make that OC with super crazy powers and tons of friends. Or even make that OC with no friends and a minimum wage job. Whatever fits your character is perfectly fine. Now yes, if you want to make a series with said characters, it's best to have some balance. But even at that, there are plenty of characters who are ridiculously overpowered to a point where it usually overshadows their flaws. Like how most magical girl main characters are occasionally portrayed as being aloof or clumsy, but all of that is immediately thrown out the window once they gain their ridiculous powers. That doesn't make them bad characters. It just shows that sometimes one trait outweighs the other. Ew, you can't make that character as the same trope as
insert character here.
That's so overused. Stop beating the dead horse. Sorry, bucko, I can do whatever I want. All media has cliches. Sorry to break it to you, but the clumsy girl to magical girl hero, yeah, that thing I mentioned earlier, that's a trope. It's probably how we have genres, actually. You can't have certain genres without their related tropes. For example, you can't have a superhero movie without the strong, motivated hero and their silly sidekick, right? Well, at least in kids' movies, I guess. But you get what I mean. Without the trope, it wouldn't feel right. If you want to base your character on a cliche that you love in certain characters, go for it. In my case, my character Philo was very inspired by Master Koga himself. Koga's a semi-powerful man with an unassuming look to him and a goofy personality. So I took that unassuming look and goofy personality and put it to my own character. But I made it original by sort of swapping. Philo is quite slim and self-conscious, unlike the Master, who is a bit more plump and has an ego bigger than his gut. But they're still both not what you'd imagine if you heard someone say that they're extremely powerful magic users. If you want a very on-the-nose and tropey set of characters, go for it. Make it original in your own way. Basically, all I need y'all to understand is nobody should be allowed to ruin your fun. You're not a professional character designer or writer, unless you are, and you just want to make some fun characters for yourself and nobody else. Hell, making them break the molds and use some of these rules makes them more interesting anyways. But yeah, you do whatever you want. That's all. I really hope these videos will help heal those sore wounds at the topics I discuss here left on young artists, and I hope to do more of these breaking the old rules of art stuff in the future. So if you want to see more of this, please comment your ideas and thoughts below. Like and subscribe, and of course, have a happy new year. This was GSPAEpro, signing out.